We are going to move on now to talk about some things that we've put up on our Facebook page. So Luigi, what is all this Deflate-Gate about? Because I don't know anything about it.
So if anybody out there follows football, which being that this is America, I'm sure a lot of you do. I personally, not really. However, what the issue was essentially, there was the argument that there was some changes in temperature and that might cause some changes in pressure. And if any of you out there play sports, I'm sure you might have realized if the ball is deflated, it's kind of harder to throw, harder to work with, harder to maneuver, harder to catch. Or if it's overinflated, it can cause similar issues. And so the question was, might this temperature have affected the pressure of the ball to the point where it might have affected the outcome of the game? And it's still an ongoing debate, and it's all down to like a whole bunch of like if I throw it, and the physics can get pretty complicated, some of the arguments. But it basically boils down to the idea that when temperature rises, pressure increases. And you can do that like at home. If you're boiling a pot of water for whatever reason, you'll notice that it becomes steam and it expands, and as it expands, then pressure increases. And water may not be the best example for the following. As temperature decreases, pressure goes down because everything becomes a little more compact. There's not enough energy. And some of you might go home and like freeze your water and say, but when I freeze my water bottle, it like blows up. Doesn't that mean that the temperature increased? That just has to do with like the structure of ice. That has nothing to do with it, which is why I said may not be the best example, but if you do it with anything else, say if you did it with like a penny. So if you measure this, if you take the penny, measure it, how much it was around when it's room temperature, and then freeze it, and then do it again, you might notice that it's just ever so slightly smaller than it was before. And so
Tires.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the things I noticed that in is tires. In the winter, I end up, my gauge goes on in my car, and it's like, oh, your tires are low, and I'm thinking, oh no, is there a hole in it? But it's just because the pressure goes down when the temperature is colder.
And even when it
vice
gets
versa.
hot, I know when we have really, really hot days, the same thing kind of happens. I'll get that notification that the tire pressure's off, but then once you start to drive, it actually evens out. But I guess, a pretty big deal in the world of sports, because if there really is an issue with the ball and it wasn't seen, I guess, before the game, then really could be a big deal. But I guess I would wonder why this is the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been well known that as the temperature decreases, pressure is going to decrease proportionally. So. But definitely some food for thought. And if this is something that you don't understand, Khan Academy does a great job of explaining it. And they even use the formula, the pressure volume formula in physics to basically demonstrate that. So if you are interested in figuring out what this whole Deflate-Gate is, they explain it very, very well. And that video is posted on our Facebook page.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The video's on there. Khan Academy is similar to, they do what we do, kind of make videos and answer homework questions. So that's something else to check out if you're really trying to get some information.
Yeah, for sure.
So come to us first.
Yeah, come to us first, and then you can
We're
check.
cooler.
Then you can check Khan Academy.
Can't you see? You can't see how he's dressed. You can't see his face. You can't talk to him.
Exactly.
We're cooler.
You can talk
Way
to us
cooler.
here. Definitely.
That's true. It's live help too. That's definitely the advantage.
Always a bonus.
Yeah.